What do you do when the person who should have your back stands by in silence? Sometimes it takes one brave moment to change the course of a marriage and a life. Have you ever felt alone when you needed someone to stand up for you? The kitchen smells like garlic and fresh bread. Alyssa stands at the counter, hands shaking as she stirs a pot of sauce. She glances at her favorite yellow bowl sitting on the table, full of salad. The bowl was a wedding gift, and she always uses it for family dinners, hoping it brings warmth to the room. Nathan walks in, adjusting his shirt sleeves. He checks his phone, then the clock. "Is the roast almost done?" he asks, his voice tight. Alyssa nods. 10 more minutes. I just need to set the table." He paces, glancing at the window. Mom likes everything just right. Did you remember to get her favorite rolls? Alyssa forces a smile. Yes, I got them. Everything's ready. Nathan gives a quick nod, barely looking at her. He starts folding napkins, his movements rushed. Let's keep things calm tonight, okay? No surprises? Alyssa bites her lip, arranging silverware. I'll try. Their daughter, Ella, runs in, waving a drawing. Look, Mommy, I made a picture for Grandma. Alyssa kneels, smoothing Ella's hair. That's beautiful, sweetie. Grandma will love it. Nathan checks his watch again. She'll be here any minute. Let's make sure everything looks perfect. Alyssa stands, wiping her hands on a towel. Her heart pounds. She wants Margaret to like her, to see how hard she's trying. But every visit feels like a test she can't pass. The doorbell rings. Nathan straightens his shirt, smoothing his hair. I'll get it. Alyssa takes a deep breath, her hands trembling. She glances at the yellow bowl, hoping it brings luck. Nathan opens the door. Margaret steps in, her eyes sharp as she surveys the room. She hugs Nathan, then looks at Alyssa. Hello, dear. Smells interesting in here. Alyssa smiles, nerves fluttering. Thank you, Margaret. Dinner's almost ready. Margaret sets her purse on the counter, glancing at the salad. Is that kale? You know Nathan can't stand kale. Nathan laughs, uneasy. It's fine, Mom. Alyssa makes it taste good. Alyssa's cheeks flush, but she nods. I can make something else if you'd like. Margaret waves her hand. No, I'm sure it's fine. Ella tugs Margaret's sleeve. Grandma, look at my drawing. Margaret glances at it, her smile thin. Very nice, Ella. You're so creative. Alyssa watches, her stomach tight. She wishes Margaret would hug Ella, would say something kind. But Margaret is already moving on, inspecting the table. Nathan whispers, You're doing great, Alyssa. Alyssa nods, but inside, she feels small. She checks the oven, her hands shaking. She wants to disappear. Margaret sits at the table, smoothing her skirt. I hope the roast isn't dry this time. Alyssa swallows hard. I followed your recipe, Margaret. Nathan sits beside his mother, glancing at Alyssa. I'm sure it'll be perfect. Alyssa sets the yellow bowl in the center of the table. For a moment, she lets herself hope for a peaceful dinner. The clock ticks in the background. The room feels colder, the light a little harsher. Alyssa steels herself, ready for another long evening. She forces a smile, calling everyone to the table. As they sit, she glances at the yellow bowl, her small symbol of hope, wishing this time would be different. Plates clink as everyone settles at the table. Margaret eyes the roast, then the salad. She picks up her fork, pokes at the kale, and sighs. Well, I suppose we're all trying to be healthy these days. Alyssa forces a smile. It's just a little kale, Margaret. I added some apple for sweetness. Margaret takes a tiny bite, her lips pressed thin. I guess it's different. Nathan, you never liked kale, did you? Nathan glances at Alyssa, then looks away. It's fine, Mom. Margaret shrugs, moving on. I hope the roast isn't as dry as last time. You know, my recipe always comes out tender. Alyssa's hands tighten in her lap. I followed your recipe exactly. Margaret leans back, glancing around. Well, I suppose the oven here is just different from mine. Ella holds up her drawing. Grandma, look, it's you and me in the garden. Margaret glances at it, her smile tight. Oh, that's colorful, Ella. Maybe next time you can use less purple. Alyssa's heart aches. She tries to change the subject. Ella's been working really hard in school. She got a gold star in reading. Margaret nods, unimpressed. That's nice, but math is more important. Isn't it, Nathan? Nathan clears his throat. Yeah, I guess. Alyssa looks at him, hoping for support, but he just keeps eating. Margaret wipes her mouth, scanning the room. I see you've rearranged the living room again. I always thought the couch looked better under the window. Alyssa's voice is small. We just wanted more space for Ella to play. Margaret sighs. Well, I suppose it's your house. Alyssa feels her cheeks burn. She remembers her own mother's gentle voice, always finding something kind to say. You did your best, sweetheart. I'm proud of you. Alyssa wishes she could hear those words now. Margaret continues. And these curtains, did you pick them out yourself? Alyssa nods, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, I like the color. Margaret shakes her head. Well, they're certainly bold. Not what I would have chosen. Nathan glances at Alyssa, then at his plate. He doesn't say a word. Alyssa tries to defend herself. I just wanted to make the house feel cheerful. Margaret gives a small laugh. Cheerful is one word for it. The room is quiet, except for the sound of forks scraping plates. Alyssa's heart pounds. She feels like she's shrinking with every comment. Nathan finally looks up. Mom, can we just eat? Margaret smiles sweetly. Of course, dear. I'm just making conversation. Alyssa bites her lip, fighting back tears. She glances at the yellow bowl in the center of the table, hoping for strength. Dinner drags on. Margaret's comments keep coming. About the way Alyssa cuts the bread, how she folds the napkins, even how she talks to Ella. Each remark lands like a small cut. Alyssa tries to answer, but nothing she says seems right. Nathan stays silent, eyes on his food. Alyssa feels more alone with every minute. After dinner, Margaret stands, brushing crumbs from her skirt. Well, thank you for dinner, Alyssa. I suppose we all survived. She grabs her purse, kisses Nathan on the cheek, and gives Ella a quick pat on the head. Good night, everyone. Nathan walks her to the door, murmuring, Thanks for coming, Mom. Alyssa stays in the kitchen, stacking plates, her hands shaking. She stares at the yellow bowl, now empty, and wishes she could disappear. The house is quiet. Alyssa wipes down the table, her heart heavy. She wonders if anyone even noticed how hard she tried. Have you ever felt alone in a room full of family? What did you do? Share your story below. Alyssa closes the dishwasher, the sound echoing in the empty kitchen. She looks at the yellow bowl, hoping next time will be different. But tonight, she just feels alone. The house is quiet after Margaret leaves. Alyssa stands at the sink, washing dishes in silence. Nathan leans against the doorway, watching her. He clears his throat. Alyssa, are you okay? She doesn't look up. I'm fine, just tired. Nathan steps closer, his voice soft. I know dinner was hard. Mom can be tough sometimes. Alyssa's hands shake as she scrubs a plate. You didn't say anything, Nathan. You just let her talk to me like that. He fidgets with his ring, looking away. I didn't want to start a fight. I thought it was better to keep the peace. Alyssa dries her hands. her eyes shining with hurt. It didn't feel peaceful to me. Nathan sighs, reaching for her arm, but she pulls away. I'm going to bed, she says quietly, leaving him alone in the kitchen. The next morning, Alyssa moves through the house like a ghost. She barely speaks to Nathan, answering his questions with one-word replies. He tries to make small talk, but she keeps her distance. Ella watches from the living room, her eyes worried. After breakfast, she brings Alyssa a drawing, stick figures holding hands under a bright sun. Look, Mommy, it's us. We're happy. Alyssa kneels down, hugging Ella tight. Thank you, sweetheart. I love it. Ella susurra. ¿Estás triste, mamá? Alyssa forces a smile. Just a little, but I'll be okay. Later, Jade stops by, bringing coffee and a hug. She sits at the kitchen table, glancing at the chipped, yellow bowl on the counter. Jade's voice is gentle, but firm. You don't have to put up with this, Alyssa. This is your home, too. You deserve respect. Alyssa sighs, her shoulders slumping. I don't want to cause trouble. Nathan says it's easier to just let her talk. Jade shakes her head. Easy for him, maybe. Not for you. You can't keep pretending everything's fine when it's not. Alyssa looks at the yellow bowl, noticing the small chip on the rim. She remembers how happy she was when she got it, how she hoped it would bring everyone together. Now it just feels fragile, like her hope. Jade squeezes her hand. You're stronger than you think. You can stand up for yourself. You have every right. Alyssa nods, her voice quiet. I don't want Ella to think this is normal. Jade smiles, then show her what's right. Speak up, even if it's hard. Alyssa hugs Jade, feeling a little stronger. As Jade leaves, Alyssa looks at the chipped bowl and makes a decision. She can't keep pretending everything is fine. She deserves better, and so does Ella. Balloons line the living room, and the smell of cake fills the air. Family chatter echoes as Alyssa lights candles on Ella's birthday cake. Margaret stands nearby, arms crossed, eyeing every detail. Margaret leans in, voice sharp. You used store-bought frosting? In my day, we made everything from scratch. Alyssa tries to smile. Ella wanted chocolate. I ran out of time. Margaret shakes her head, loud enough for everyone to hear. Well, I guess some people just don't care about tradition. A few cousins glance away, awkward. Alyssa's cheeks burn. She glances at Nathan, hoping for backup. He just looks at his plate. Later, as presents are opened, Margaret comments, "Such a mess in here. I hope you plan to clean this up before it stains the carpet." Alyssa forces a laugh. "We'll get it, Margaret." Margaret continues, "You know, Nathan was never this wild as a child. He always listened. Maybe you should be firmer with Ella." Alyssa's voice trembles. "Ella's a good kid. She just gets excited." Margaret sighs, turning to Nathan. "Don't you agree, dear?" Nathan shrugs, mumbling, "Ella's fine, Mom." Alyssa feels the eyes of the family on her. She stands up straighter. "I do my best, Margaret. I love Ella, and I take care of this house." Margaret purses her lips. "Well, I suppose everyone has their own way." The party winds down. Alyssa clears plates, her hands shaking. Nathan helps gather wrapping paper, avoiding her gaze. When the last guest leaves, Alyssa turns to Nathan, her voice low but firm. "Why do you always let her talk to me like that? Why don't you ever defend me?" Nathan sighs, rubbing his forehead. "I just don't want to fight with her, Alyssa. It's easier this way." Alyssa's eyes fill with tears. "Easier for who?" "Because it's not easier for me. I feel humiliated in my own home. I feel invisible." Nathan tries to reach for her, but she steps back. "I need you, Nathan. I need you to stand up for me. I can't keep doing this alone. He looks away, guilt on his face. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say to her. Alyssa's voice cracks. Then learn, because I can't live like this. They stand in silence, the house suddenly too quiet. Alyssa wipes her face, feeling more alone than ever. If you were Alyssa, would you confront your partner or stay silent? Why? Let us know in the comments. Nathan is left shaken, unsure of what to do next. Alyssa walks away, her heart heavy, wondering if things will ever change. Alyssa sits at the kitchen table, sunlight spilling across a stack of unopened mail. Her hands tremble as she scrolls through her phone, finally pressing Jade's name. The phone rings twice. Jade's voice is warm and steady. Hey Alyssa, what's going on? Alyssa's words tumble out, shaky and raw. I can't take it anymore. Margaret's comments, Nathan never saying anything. Every time she visits, I feel like I'm disappearing. I try to talk to Nathan, but he just shuts down. Jade listens, letting Alyssa's pain fill the space. You're not alone, you know. My in-laws used to walk all over me. I let it happen for years, until I finally set some boundaries. It was hard, but I needed to protect myself. Alyssa wipes her eyes. How did you do it? Weren't you scared of making things worse? Jade's voice softens. I was terrified, but I realized I was losing myself. I started small, saying no to things that made me uncomfortable, standing up for myself, even if my husband didn't like it at first. And honestly, counseling helped. Sometimes you need someone outside the family to remind you that you matter. Alyssa nods, her voice barely above a whisper. I just want to feel like myself again. I want to stop feeling so alone. Jade reaches through the silence. You deserve to feel safe in your own home. You deserve respect. Maybe try talking to someone, a counselor, or even a support group. There's power in sharing your story. Alyssa considers it, the idea settling into her chest like a small, warm light. That evening, after Ella is asleep, Alyssa sits on the edge of her bed. Lost in thought, a memory surfaces, her wedding day. She sees herself in her white dress, Nathan's hand in hers, his voice steady as he promises, I'll always have your back, no matter what. She wonders where that promise went, how it got lost in the noise of family dinners and silent arguments. The next day, Alyssa searches online and finds a local women's support group. Her hands shake as she fills out the form, but she clicks submit before she can change her mind. The first meeting is in a cozy room at the community center. Alyssa sits in a circle of women, some older, some younger, all with stories etched on their faces. The group leader, a kind woman named Marcia, welcomes her. We're here to listen, not judge. Share what you want, or just listen. Alyssa listens at first, heart pounding. One woman talks about her mother-in-law criticizing her cooking. Another shares how her husband never stood up for her. The stories are different, but the feelings are the same. Hurt, isolation, longing for respect. When it's Alyssa's turn, her voice shakes. My husband's mom. She makes these comments about my cooking, my parenting, everything. And Nathan, he just sits there. I feel invisible. I feel like I'm not enough. Heads nod around the circle. Marcia smiles gently. You are enough, and you're not alone. The words settle into Alyssa's bones. For the first time in a long time, she feels seen. After the meeting, a few women invite her for coffee. They laugh, swap stories, and offer advice. Alyssa feels lighter, the heaviness in her chest easing just a bit. At home, Alyssa starts making small changes. She says no when Margaret suggests another family dinner so soon. She spends time with Ella, painting and laughing, letting herself enjoy small moments. She schedules a counseling session, nervous but hopeful. Nathan notices the changes. He watches Alyssa move through the house with a new steadiness, but he doesn't know how to reach her. He tries to start conversations, but Alyssa keeps her responses short. The distance between them grows, but Alyssa feels stronger with every step she takes for herself. One evening, Alyssa stands in the kitchen, running her fingers along the chipped rim of her yellow bowl. She remembers her wedding day again, the hope, the promises. She wonders if Nathan remembers too. Alyssa isn't sure what comes next, but for the first time in months, she feels a flicker of hope. She's learning to stand on her own, to find her voice, and to believe she deserves better. The house is quiet as Alyssa closes her notebook and looks out the window, watching the sky fade from gold to blue. She knows her journey isn't over, but she's ready for whatever comes next. The kitchen is quiet, the evening sun painting golden stripes across the counter. Nathan sits at the table, his hands wrapped around a mug that's gone cold. He glances at the chipped yellow bowl in the sink, the one Alyssa always uses for family dinners. The crack along its rim catches the light, a quiet warning of how fragile things have become. His phone buzzes. Nathan sees his sister's name, Caroline Bennett, and hesitates before answering. "Hey, Caroline," he says, his voice tired. Caroline's voice is gentle but steady. "Nathan, I wanted to check in. I heard about the birthday party. Mom was, well, she was herself, wasn't she?" Nathan sighs, rubbing his forehead. "Yeah, it was rough. Alyssa's hurting, and I didn't know what to do." Caroline pauses, then speaks softly. "I know you want to keep the peace, but sometimes silence does more harm than good. Mom's always had a way of making people feel small. I remember how she used to be with me. Never quite approving, always a little sharp." Nathan listens, guilt creeping in. "I thought if I didn't make a scene, things would stay calm, but it's not working." Alyssa feels alone, and Ella's starting to notice too. Carolyn's tone grows more urgent. "Nathan, I let Mom walk over me for years. I thought it was easier, but it just made me feel invisible. You can't let that happen to Alyssa or to your daughter. You have to stand up for them. You have to show them you're on their side." Nathan is quiet, her words settling in. He thinks of Alyssa's sad eyes, of Ella's worried face. "I want to be better, Caroline. I don't know where to start." "You start by saying something," Caroline says gently. "Even if it's hard, even if Mom gets upset, Alyssa needs to know she's not alone in this house." After the call, Nathan sits in silence. He looks at the chipped yellow bowl in the sink, remembering the first time Alyssa used it. How proud she was, how she hoped it would make everyone feel welcome. Now, it's just another thing that feels broken. He wanders into the living room and sees Ella's drawing on the fridge. Their family, hand in hand, smiling under a bright sun. He takes it down and walks over to Alyssa, who sits curled up on the couch, staring at nothing. He sits beside her, holding out the drawing. "Ella made this for us," he says, his voice soft. "She wants us to be happy. I do too." Alyssa looks at the picture, her eyes filling with tears. "I just want to feel safe here, Nathan. I want to feel like you're on my side." Nathan takes her hand, his own voice trembling. "I'm sorry I haven't been. I thought I was helping by keeping quiet, but I see now that I was just letting things get worse." She squeezes his hand, a flicker of hope in her eyes. "It's not too late, but I need you to stand with me. I can't do this alone." He nods, determination building. "I promise. I'm going to talk to Mom. I'll set boundaries. I want you and Ella to feel safe in our home." Alyssa leans into him, her head on his shoulder. For the first time in a long while, the silence between them feels gentle, not heavy. Nathan stands and walks back to the kitchen. He picks up the yellow bowl, running his thumb along the crack. It's still whole, still useful, even if it's not perfect. He places it carefully on the shelf, a reminder of what's at stake and what can be mended. That night, Nathan lies awake, thinking about Caroline's words, about Alyssa's pain, about Ella's quiet hope. He knows the next family dinner won't be easy. He knows Margaret will push back, but for the first time, he feels ready to speak up. He whispers into the dark, "No more silence, no more letting things slide." The house is quiet, but something has shifted. Nathan feels the weight of his promise and the possibility of healing. He wonders if it's too late, but deep down, he knows that taking a stand is the only way forward. The dining room is filled with the sound of forks and quiet conversation. Alyssa sets the yellow bowl, now carefully glued, on the table, her hands steady, but her heart racing. Margaret sits at her usual spot, scanning the dishes with her sharp eyes. Margaret sighs, picking at her food. "Alyssa, you really should try seasoning the potatoes more. Nathan always liked them with a little more salt. Didn't you, dear?" Nathan puts down his fork, his voice calm but strong. "Actually, Mom, I like them just the way Alyssa makes them." Margaret blinks, surprised. "Well, I suppose everyone has different tastes, but you know, I always say—" Nathan interrupts, his voice firmer. "Mom, enough. I need you to stop criticizing Alyssa. This is our home, and I won't let anyone disrespect her here. Not even you." The room falls silent. Margaret's mouth opens, then closes. She looks around, unsure what to say. Alyssa's eyes fill with tears. She looks at Nathan, hardly believing what she's hearing. Margaret tries again, her tone softer but still defensive. "I was only trying to help. You know I care about this family." Nathan shakes his head. "If you care, then please show Alyssa respect. She works hard for all of us. She deserves kindness, not judgment." Margaret sits back, stunned. The rest of the family looks down at their plates, no one daring to speak. Nathan turns to Alyssa, his voice gentle but clear. "I'm sorry, Alyssa. I should have stood up for you a long time ago. I let my silence hurt you, and I promise I'll do better. You're my wife. You're the heart of this family." Alyssa wipes her eyes, her voice trembling. Thank you, Nathan. That's all I ever wanted, to feel like we're a team." Ella, watching from her seat, smiles and squeezes Alyssa's hand. "I love you, Mommy." Nathan nods, looking at his mother. "From now on, things will be different. If you can't be kind, then maybe it's best we take a break from these dinners." Margaret looks away, her lips pressed tight. For the first time, she doesn't have a comeback. The meal continues in quiet, but something has shifted. Alyssa feels a weight lift from her shoulders, a sense of safety she hasn't felt in a long time. After dinner, as the family clears the table, Nathan hugs Alyssa close. "I meant what I said. I'm with you, always." Alyssa leans into him, her tears now happy ones. "Thank you for finally seeing me. Have you ever witnessed someone finally stand up for you? How did it change your relationship? Share your experience below." The evening ends with soft laughter and gentle conversation. As Alyssa washes the yellow bowl, she feels hope blooming in her heart. Sunlight streams through the kitchen window as Alyssa and Nathan sit at the table, a notepad between them. Nathan writes down a few ideas, then looks at Alyssa. "We need to be clear with my mom. No more comments about your cooking, parenting, or the house." Alyssa nods, her voice steady. And if she slips up, we remind her. Together. Nathan squeezes her hand. Together. Over the next few weeks, Margaret visits less often. And when she does, the conversations are lighter. Nathan steps in when needed. Gently, but firmly. Alyssa feels her confidence grow, knowing Nathan is by her side. They talk more, laugh more, and share the hard days instead of hiding them. Ella runs through the house, her laughter echoing. She draws pictures of the three of them holding hands, the sun always shining overhead. Alyssa hangs them on the fridge, her heart full. One Saturday, the family heads to the park for a picnic. Alyssa packs sandwiches, fruit, and her favorite, potato salad in the yellow bowl. Nathan helps spread the blanket, and Ella chases butterflies in the grass. Jay joins them, bringing lemonade. The afternoon is filled with stories, gentle teasing, and easy smiles. Alyssa sets the yellow bowl in the center of the blanket. The crack is still there, but it's mended, strong, and whole. Nathan leans over, whispering, "You did it, Alyssa. You brought us together." Alyssa smiles, her eyes shining. "We did it. We're stronger now." As the sun sets, the family sits close, sharing dessert and dreams for the future. The air feels warm, safe, and full of hope. Alyssa's voice comes in, soft and sure. "There was a time I thought I had to stay quiet to keep the peace. But I learned that standing up for yourself isn't selfish. It's brave. Healing takes courage, and support makes all the difference. When you find your voice and someone stands with you, even the deepest cracks can be mended." The camera lingers on the yellow bowl, now a symbol of unity and new beginnings, as laughter fills the air and the screen fades to gentle light. If Alyssa's story touched you, please give it a like and share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more real-life, emotional stories. And if you know someone who needs the courage to stand up for themselves, please share this video with them. Your support means so much to us.